Friends, you are watching Mimi's Mixed Bag, and today I'm participating in a collab created by Michelle from My Everyday Wife Life. It is a virtual cookie swap, and so she and many others will be linked below, so be sure and check them out. But I came across a recipe from my mother-in-law this past Thanksgiving. She made these pecan squares, and they were delicious. They were just too good not to share with you. If you love pecan pie, you will love these. We all thought they actually tasted better than pecan pie, simply for the fact that instead of a crust, they were made with like a shortbread on the bottom, and it just really tasted like a cookie with all this pecan pie goodness on top. What we loved about it was that you could slice them up into squares, put them on a platter, participate in a cookie swap, or even portion control where you could just have one if you can just, if you had the willpower. So let's go downstairs and let me show you how these are made. To get started on these pecan bars, it's a two-step process. We have to make the base first, and then we'll do the topping. But to start the base, you will need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Make sure you don't use self-rising because we don't want our shortbread base to rise at all. So 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a cup of butter or margarine, and a half a cup of powdered sugar. That's the only 3 ingredients you'll need. You can cut in the butter with a pastry cutter, or if you have a KitchenAid mixer. I just don't want to pull mine out for just one dish, so I'm just going to use this big serving fork. That will work just fine. So I'm going to mix all 3 ingredients together until they get a little crumbly, and then I'm going to transfer it to this 9x13 greased baking pan. Okay, I want to show you what the 3 ingredients combined looks like, and you'll see that it is kind of crumbly, and it took me just about a minute stirring all 3 ingredients. And so now I'm just going to convert it over to this pan and flatten it out with my hand. Okay, here's my shortbread all patted out into my baking pan. I'm going to put it in a 350-degree oven for 15 minutes. Okay, we are ready now for part 2 of our pecan bars, and I need to make the pecan topping, and it takes 4 ingredients. You need a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 large egg, a cup and a half of chopped pecans, and a teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to mix all 4 of those ingredients in this bowl, get them really well incorporated, and wait for the shortbread to cook. Okay, just want to show you the shortbread after 15 minutes of baking. It's not brown or anything. The purpose of that little 15-minute bake was just to give it a jump start, because we're fixing to pour this topping onto it and then bake it for another 25 minutes. So let me go ahead and get this poured on there and ready for the oven again. Okay, got the topping on, and it is ready for 350 degrees for another 25 minutes. Okay, I pulled my bars out of the oven after 25 minutes. They are golden brown on the edges, nice and firm topping. I'm going to let them cool completely before I cut them into squares. Okay, these are my finished pecan squares. In the original recipe, it called for a 7.5-ounce bag of Bit O Brickle that you add to your pecan topping. Now, I omitted it this time thinking it may not make a big difference, but now that we've made them and tasted them, you definitely need to add the Bit O Brickle to the topping. You can find that in the baking aisle. It is called Bit O Brickle. I encourage you to try this recipe below. It is absolutely scrumptious, and everyone that tastes it loves it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.